Hello and good morning, everyone. I am so excited to have you here with me. I am Christine and I am the host for the Coffee with Christine show. So it's been a couple weird couple 12 hours or so. It's just so I don't know if any of you guys are struggling, but let me go ahead and I don't know if there's been like a shift in the energy or it's been a weird 12 hours. So, all right, I'm getting ready to go live on the podcast, but I'm really excited to have you join me here on YouTube. So keep watching and we're going to dive on into the podcast. Hello and good morning. This is the Coffee with Christine show, and I'm your host, Christine. And today we are going to be diving into episode number 15, October the 12th, 2022, and it's Wisdom Wednesday. Every Wednesday, I like to get thoughts together from all the greats. So, any authors, poets, philosophers, anyone who has an inspiring quote or has a book of literature that we can read and find fun quotes out of. I am all about exploring them. So if you like a quote that we read today, I'll be posting them in the Facebook group. And if you have a quote that you think we should share, then absolutely let me know. I'll be happy to share it on the next show. So you guys have a lot of input here. I'm doing this all for you guys. So this way, you're hearing content and engaging, and it's all about spreading the message of love and compassion. So, what is this podcast and who is it for? This podcast is for introverted, career minded women who have huge hearts and are just feeling exhausted and just need to have a couple gentle reminders every day that they deserve love, that they need to take care of themselves. It's okay to take care of themselves. And that way they can be even better and more present when they're spending the quality time with the people who are important to them, like their families, driving into work. You're able to be more present by putting in just a little bit of time for your own self-care. And I'm here to give you permission, encouragement, and ideas on how to do just that for yourself. All right. Now, we talk about law of attraction, we talk about self-care, and there's a little bit of woo. So we do some tarot readings and energy readings and clearing. So it's all about self-love and a little bit of woo and a whole lot of coffee. So what are we drinking today? What do you guys have in your cup? I have got my Great Vibes coffee, the Quackers, which is going to come in handy today. So if you guys are listening, you're watching, we had one of our girls, get banged up pretty bad yesterday. So she is actually in my tub right now, kind of floating around. Took some pressure, doing some water therapy to let her move around without putting any pressure on her joints. So if you guys are able to, I think on one of my links, you're able to donate to the show. That would be a huge help to be able to get her extra care. She's not going to be improving. We're going to have to take her to the vet to figure out exactly what's wrong. So that would be helpful if you guys would be able to donate for a really good and worthy cause, which is helping Miss Luna get better. So today we are talking about manifesting, and let me pull today's card for today's intention. Every episode I like to start off with a card, and it gives us the idea. It gives us something that we can focus on throughout the show. So we are called to keep in mind the devil, temptation, decadence, going all out on yourself, luxury for the purpose of selfishness. And you know what? I find that very interesting that came up, because when we think about manifesting and we think about self-care, we have a tendency to feel guilty, don't we? We feel like we're doing something wrong. We're committing a sin by taking a little bit of time for ourselves, going and getting our haircuts or going for a massage. Feels like a guilty pleasure more so than a healthy part of a routine that we do for ourselves. And we're here to try to shift that narrative a little bit, okay? So when it comes to manifesting, there are several gurus that I love to listen to, that I really enjoy the material of. Dr. Wayne Dyer, Ralph Waldo Emerson, J.B. Glossinger, and of course, Abraham Hicks, who all of them have some very wonderful insight on manifesting and how we can apply it. So we're going to start off with Dr. Wayne Dyer. And Dr. Dyer said, you create your thoughts create your intentions, and your intentions create your reality. So if we think on that for a moment, it all stems from our thoughts. It all stems from what's going on inside of us, right? Inside of our heads. Where are your thoughts today? Are you thinking about all the pain and craziness and suffering that's going on in the world today? Or are you focused on watching the sunrise? Are you finding joy in watching animals play? Maybe a kitten. There's a new kitten in the yard next door, and they're adorable, and you get joy out of watching the kittens play. When you're focusing your thoughts, that allows to feed into your intentions. Your intentions are the vibrations that you put out to the universe that call in more of whatever you're intending. Law of attraction dictates the more you think about, the more is presented to you. So if you're sitting there thinking about all these horrible, sad, heartbreaking things, you're going to be manifesting, and your eyes are going to be open and looking for these sad, heartbreaking things. When you condition your thoughts to focus on more positive, more uplifting, more upbeat and happy circumstances, you're going to find yourself seeing them and encountering them more often, because the universe, one of my mentors said this, and I absolutely love this analogy. The universe is like a dog, and the dog just wants to make you happy. So when you tell the universe, I want a toy, like a dog, it goes and it brings you a toy, something that you think you're going to like. When you're not specific on the toy or your intention, it just shows up in any way, shape, or form. But if you go and tell the universe, aka the dog, I want your ball, give me your ball, that comes back to you. The dog will go and get the ball. The universe will go and get the exact thing that you're specifying. It's happy to do so. It wants to make you happy. So when you're focusing on more negative thinking, it's thinking, oh, that's what you want, so I'm going to bring it to you. And when you're not clear on your intentions, because your thoughts are all over the place, things get a little weird, get a little muddy, and you can always tell when things are off. You can always tell. Trust me, the last 12 hours can prove. You can always tell. All right, so that you create your thoughts create your intentions, and your intentions create your reality, by Dr. Wayne Dyer. Now, Ralph Waldo Emerson said, once you make a decision, the universe conspires to make it happen. And I love that quote. I feel like that quote just, it hits me in my heart, because I've always felt this. I've always felt the compatibility. And I urge you, if you don't believe in this woo stuff or whatever, I urge you to play with it a little bit. Like, not just to even just to disprove it. If you want to disprove it, go for it. I'm all about you figuring out what's right for you. But if you want to play with it, there's so much fun that you can do. So you can start off by something small. I want to see red cars. And then count how many red cars you see. And it doesn't have to be driving around. If you know you never leave the house and you're thinking about red cars, they're going to start showing up on advertisements. They're going to start showing up. Even if you don't verbally express it, you're going to start noticing it. Your kid is going to pull out a red Hot Wheels car. There's going to be an advertisement for a red Honda. You're going to start noticing things. And it's because of a whole bunch of science and stuff, and it's fun. So we're not going to go into that. We'll go into that another day, but that's a whole fantastic topic. So once you make a decision, the universe conspires to make it happen. I want you to think back on something that you decided. You know what? That's it. I'm going to do this thing, and nothing's going to stop me. And then everything lines up. Everything falls into place. Have you ever had that happen? I had that recently, and it was magical. It was absolutely magical because I remember it was back in April. I was absolutely miserable at a job that I was working, and I am all about showing you guys how to live your best life. And if you're not happy with what you're doing, you have to change something. And I had set an intention and I wrote it down in my book. And I said, you know what? I put in my 2-week notice today. I have a better opportunity that came up. Things are working out for me. And I hadn't put in my 2-week notice, but I was done mentally with the job. And would I have walked away after that? At that time, probably, most likely, like that was gearing up to happen regardless. But you know what happened? Within 5 days, I got an offer for a higher paying job that utilized my skills a whole lot better than what I was using. And that was, if I had put in my 2-week notice, the moment that I was like, you know what, that's it. I'm making the intention to put in my 2-week notice. It would have been 2 weeks. Instead of waiting the 5 days, if I had put in my 2-week notice at that point when I was being told by my gut, I would have had like an exact 2 weeks. So that's what I mean by putting your intentions out there. When you make a decision to do something, the universe will back you up. It will find a way to do it. You know what? I have to get this car fixed. Let's make an appointment. You end up getting a $200 check from a client that you not forgot about, but hadn't received any money from in a while. And you get an extra check in the mail. How cool is that when that happens? Or your courses take a huge spike. That has been insane. Like, that has been my favorite thing to see, is going through and seeing how many people are starting to enroll in my courses and see how many lives are getting ready to be transformed because they're taking part in these courses. I'm so excited about it. When you make a decision, the universe is going to back you up. The universe is conspiring to make it happen. Ralph Waldo Emerson. One of my other mentors, J.B. Glossinger, I will be talking about him all the time. He is the inspiration for my Sacred Life journal and my Sacred Life book. He wrote his book, The Sacred Six. And I took his idea and I took his concept and I did an overhaul for it to fit my life. And the concept of it was the same. You set your priorities, you set your intentions, but it allowed me to do it in a way that was more in alignment with the type of life that I wanted to live. And that's why I call my program Sacred Life. So J.B. Glossinger, though, is a fantastic motivational speaker. He's also a fellow introvert. So that is always something that I feel is important, to be able to relate to a mentor while being able to have a connection without a super hands-on in-your-face approach. But he said this about manifesting, and this is something that's always stuck with me as well. You can start to manifest the life of your dreams through belief, but action is critical to fully inhibit it. I'm going to read that again because I really want you guys to process that. You can start to manifest the life of your dreams through belief, but action is critical to fully inhabit it. So you can believe all you want, but if you're not taking action, Abraham Hicks likes to call it inspired action. If you're not taking inspired action to make it happen, then it's welling up for you, but nothing's happening. It's just going to keep welling up, welling up, welling up, welling up until you find a way to focus it and streamline it into where you want it to go. Have you ever heard the stories of the people who just ridiculously win things? I know my mother-in-law ends up winning everything. She'll put in for a raffle and she'll get the ticket. She'll put in for a basket and she'll get a cake. And, some people just automatically win at things all the time, right? But that's because she's taking the action and taking the initiatives. Like, oh, that would be fun. Let me put my name in this hat. Or let me go ahead and sign up for this. It's the action that leads up to the universe lining up and backing you up. So you can start to manifest the life of your dreams through belief, but action is critical to inhabit it. J.D. Glossinger. Look him up. He's a good one. All right, take a sip of my coffee. I'm getting all like, rah! Did you guys tell me what you're sipping? I want to know what you have in your cups. All right. And today's final quote, this is from Abraham Hicks. And again, Abraham Hicks is one of the absolute core founders of law of attraction, becoming more mainstream and being prominent. And it just, yeah. I'll be putting all these quotes on the Facebook page, and I would love to let you know which one resounds with you the most today. All right. So Abraham Hicks says, I like knowing that whatever I am willing to allow, the universe will yield to me. I like knowing that whatever I am willing to allow, the universe will yield to me. When you're in a state of allowance, when you are allowing yourself to just experience without requiring a certain outcome, detachment, that's what I was looking for. When you are able to create an air of detachment in regards to what you want out of your life, the universe has no choice but to make it happen. And it's beautiful to watch. So I like knowing that whatever I am willing to allow, the universe will yield to me. Take that with you today, because that's something I really, truly want you to think about. I would love for you to believe it. I know I do. I would love for you to believe it. But I do want you to share with me your thoughts, your feelings, and your favorite quotes. That's what this is about. This is opening up discussions. This is all about opening up topics and helping you live a life that is so much more you than you've ever possibly lived. I'm here for you. All right, guys, I have a whole bunch of resources down in the bottom in the description of the video. If you want to check out the books and stuff that I was talking about, you can definitely feel free to go down to the link, check it out. I've got workbooks, I've got courses, I've got all kinds of great stuff that will really help you start to explore what your energy blocks are, where your resistance is, and the small things you can start doing to overcome that. So great resources for you guys. All right, I am going back to take care of this sick little duckling. I hope you guys go and have a really great, wonderful day and go and live with passion. And thank you so much for watching your daily dose of love and caffeination.